Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Kilachari Torah's daily review of the laws and customs of Pesach for Monday, March 21st. We're up to talking about the halachas of the first days of Pesach, namely the nights of the 15th and 16th of this, and that's Friday night and Shabbos, Motzei Shabbos, Saturday night of Pesach this year, coming up in just about 4 weeks' time. On a normal Shabbos, we usher in Shabbat by saying Kabbalah Shabbos, Kabbalat Shabbat. When Yom Tov or Chol Hamoed occurs on Shabbos, the regular Kabbalat Shabbat is greatly shortened. Most communities which daven Nusach Ashkenaz begin with Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat and Hashem Melech. That's our tradition here. Nusach Sfard begins with Mizmor LeDavid in the first and last two stanzas of Chadodi before they go into those that were mentioned. Madlikin is omitted by many communities on Yom Tov, which occurs on Shabbos or Erev Shabbos, and also omitted on Shabbos Chol Hamoed. On Yom Tov, the Ma'ariv is similar to the Ma'ariv of Shabbos and other Yom Tovim. We conclude with Hashkivenu, Ufreis Aleinu, and then if we're davening with a minyan, which I'm not sure we will do in our shul, we will go into if there were a Chatzi Kaddish, whether or not there is, we go into Shmona Esrei from that. Shmona Esrei consists of 7 brachas, usually the first 3 opening brachas, the middle bracha of Kedushas Hayom, sanctity of the day, and the final 3 brachas. The middle bracha begins with Ata V'chartanu, and then we say Vatitein Lanu Es Yom Chag Hamatzos Azman Cheruseinu Mikra Kodesh. This is the holiday of matzos, of unleavened bread, the season of our freedom, Ya'aleh V'yavo and V'hasiyenu. And we conclude with Baruch Atah Hashem. It says here Mekadesh Yisrael V'Azmanim, but we will say Mekadesh Yisrael V'Shabbat, the Mekadesh Shabbos V'Yisrael V'Hazmanim. You can find this in your Art Scroll Siddur, if this is indeed the one you're using at home. Once you get to in the Ma'ariv Amida, in the evening service, Ma'ariv service, once you get to the bottom of page 300, or middle of page 336, you would turn over then to page 660, Shmona Esra L'Shalosh Regalim, the Shmona Esra for the festivals. And as you go through in the following pages until page 671, at the end you'll have to make a few choices at certain points to include Chag HaMatzos Azman Cheruseinu, this festival of matzos, unleavened bread, the time of our freedom. And you'll also, on Friday night, of course, the first night of Pesach, you'll also include the passages for Shabbos. Yes. If you concluded the bracha improperly, in other words, if you said the regular Shabbos one by heart or the daytime one by heart, you have to make sure you correct that before any time goes by. When Pesach falls on Shabbos, some say in the midst of the fourth bracha is Yom HaManoach Hazeh. We don't say Yom HaManuch Hazeh. We don't say that. And we conclude with Mekadesh HaShabbat V'Yisrael V'Hazmanim, as we said. If you forgot to mention Shabbos in the fourth bracha, which is the place where you mentioned Shabbos, you forget, and you didn't mention Shabbos in Ya'aleh V'yavo, you still fulfilled your requirement because you said in Haskell. Okay, if you erred in the conclusion, Mekadesh HaShabbat V'Yisrael V'Hazmanim, and you forgot to mention Shabbos, you're not required to repeat the fourth bracha. But if you say Mekadesh Yisrael V'Hazmanim, it's questionable if you fulfilled your requirements or not. So just to follow along with your finger, you'll be fine. You'll remember to say everything. On Shabbos after Shemona Esrei, Vayechulu is said. This is with a minyan, not individually. But the bracha Me'ein Sheva is omitted. In some communities, the minhag is to say the full Hallel with a bracha on the first night of Pesach, the first 2 nights of Pesach outside of Israel. That's the minhag of Nusach Sfard and of Nusach Hagra. The Nusach Ashkenaz does not usually follow that. Okay, there's also one additional footnote, not really applicable in all likelihood to us this year, because we have not yet reconvened our nighttime minyan. The custom in many communities is for the chazan to say Kiddush and Shul after Ma'ariv on Shabbos and Yom Tov. However, we do not do that on Pesach. Anyone who's in the Shul who doesn't have a place to go, we make sure that that person has a Seder to go to. On the second night of Pesach, we will begin counting the Omer, and that is a separate parsha itself that's found in your Siddur right after Ma'ariv. Probably before this happens, candles are lit by the woman of the house before Shabbos and Yom Tov. The Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat V'Shel Yom Tov is the bracha appropriate to make here, and Shechiyanu. on both nights, actually on the second night without the mention of Shabbos because it's already Matzah Shabbos. And that will give you the times for that in the bulletin and the Pesach guide. The Seder should begin immediately upon returning home after nightfall. And we will apparently this booklet that I'm using here does not have the full halachas of the Seder, but they are referred to another place, and I will track that down. Okay, so let's stop there for today, and we will pick it up tomorrow and talk more about the daytime davening of the 15th and 16th, the first 2 days of Yom Tov.